Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Rayleigh. Our campaign is The Masks of Nyarlathotep. It was written by Larry DiTilio, Lynn Willis, Mike Mason, Lynn Hardy, Paul Fricker, and Scott Dorward, and it's available from the Chaosium website. Our game master is Morgan Llewellyn, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be done by Brian Daly as his character Frederick Chapman. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Brian?
March 19th, 1921. I'll restate some of yesterday's happenings due to my rambling, inebriated state last night. We met with Larkin at the bar and discussed the plan for the expedition. After Larkin and De Mendoza left, Mr. Hughes revealed his identity as Jackson Elias, an investigator and writer. The party then discussed the misgivings they had with the operation. It was decided that we all would meet with a Professor Sanchez the next afternoon. Our morning trip to the library proved fruitless, as the good professor had already checked out all the relevant material. During our meeting, it was revealed that we were more interested in undermining Larkin's expedition and supporting the expedition planned by Sanchez. Christopher and Hauser went off to assist the student, Rizzo, while the rest of us discussed what to do. Not long after, a scream was heard, and we all rushed out to see what had happened. Conseguir una ambulancia, please. Thank you. You. Can you keep pressure on this? Pressure? Thank you. And I rush over to see what is happening in the office. Octavius, what's going on over here?
All right, well, as you round the corner and you enter the office, you see everything's kind of in chaos. There's seems to be quite a bit of blood. There's a horrible smell of rancid meat. You see Christopher on the ground clutching his chest. You see Professor Sanchez writhing around on the ground. You come in right as you see Hauser just step on this slug-looking thing, and you look over and you see Mendoza splayed out on the ground, his mouth all twisted into that like a leech. So if you can make a sand check for me.
I'm not sure, Frederick, what I can possibly say to explain what just happened.
Morgan, what's the sand loss for a fail?
Ooh, 1d6.
Oh boy. I'll hold off on my reaction until I roll the sand loss here. Okay. What the hell? What is going on in here?
The thing.
What is that? What?
Mendoza, he wasn't a human. I think Elias was right that it's some sort of a fat-sucking vampire.
We need a doctor.
Elias kind of pokes his head in, and he just visibly, almost lets out a little yell, like, my God, what?
It attacked Dr. Sanchez, and there was a slug thing, and the slug went... I don't believe I've seen what I just saw, except that we stopped it.
The time is of the essence. Sanchez needs a doctor now.
We've called for an ambulance. It should be here any minute.
Good.
I don't know how we're going to explain this to the Peruvian authorities.
You see Sanchez is just, it was in my mouth! Oh!
Should we get him some water? Sanchez, do you need water, something to drink?
He's just babbling.
Need something stronger than water. Here, have a snort of this.
Good.
I think we better find Mr. Larkin if he's still alive, if this thing didn't eat him first.
Have you not understood by now, Fox? Larkin was in on it.
I'm not so sure. And the poor girl, we didn't even get a chance to meet her.
Jesus Christ, that thing packs a punch.
Does anybody
we're
have any
getting danger
medical? Jesus Christ.
Only first aid. I've got good first aid, but not good medical. I just got lucky before.
Well,
What kind of idiot doesn't get a doctor to join an expedition?
where the hell is the
Larkin,
ambulance?
apparently.
Ambulancia.
You hear somebody call back that they're on their way. They're on their way.
What?
Christ,
What do
we
you
coulda-
think of this? The poor girl, she had this by her. And Hosser lifts up to the group that gold piece with
Yeah, so it's pretty
burnt
hefty.
flesh.
It's 25 pounds.
25 pounds. Yeah, you can do that with an arm. It's just, it's like a little barbell.
Mhm.
What do you think of this? She had it right by her.
Can I do an
Whatever it was.
archaeology roll?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Whatever it was valuable enough for him to try and kill her. Well,
Well,
kill her.
I'm not so sure that. I think he was just. I don't know what the hell.
Can everybody do a spot hidden for me?
Right,
31.
I'm completely out of it.
Hard pass.
Standard pass.
A hard pass.
I got a 9.
Ooh.
Oh,
So it looks like everybody but Octavius notices that Mendoza is moving.
Oh,
Slightly.
no. Okay, I take
Cabron,
the-
stop him!
out of the slug and try to pin him down.
How's that
With-
possible?
And yeah, as you kind of get on top of him, you see he now starts to writhing to try to get you off of him.
Okay.
God, is this?
I'm gonna kick him in the liver.
I'm going to stab him in the skull.
Time to a chair. We can find out what the hell's going on.
Take his trousers down. Well, he's lost. It's only fair.
All right, so
I'm not sure what you're suggesting there, Morris.
all right, so House's got him pinned on the ground. Are people removing his pants, or are they stabbing him in the skull?
I'm kicking him in the liver.
I'm stabbing him in the skull.
Okay, so you're
Quickest
kicking
way
him.
to disable a man on the ground. Kick
You're
him in the
stabbing him.
liver.
So
I'll hold him down.
He's-
I'm not taking his pants off.
I'm suggesting that they tie him
No
up.
fun.
all right, so while Morris is kicking his liver, Christopher goes and stabs him in the skull, and he stops moving.
This is inhuman. What is this? He's not human. This fat comes out of him and ooze, and he took enough damage to take down 3 men. Must be on some sort of drug or something.
Who is this thing? Where did he come from? All of those questions we need to get answered.
I don't know. Just keep an eye on him in case he gets up again.
Hey, Chapman, why don't you go have a look on the professor's desk, see if you can find any of the books from the library.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh.
look for one of the titles on
Yeah.
the Fat Vampire.
Gentlemen, that reminds me, in the satchel here, the lady also had this. And he produces the notebook that the girl had as well, that I put in the satchel.
Toss it here, Hauser.
Yeah.
Morgan,
Yes.
I take out my hip flask
Mhm.
and pour it on my chest.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Does anybody have any kind of linguistic skill? Maybe they could figure out what language this is. Can you figure out the language on this golden? Jesus Christ, this thing is heavy.
I know Arabic, Spanish, German, English. That's it.
Fred, what do you know?
Spanish, English, Portuguese, and a little bit of Keshka.
Parlez-vous français?
Well, I can do the French thing too, but I don't think this is French.
I got French.
I know.
Is it
I
at
know
all
a little
like
bit of
Keshka?
Chinese.
How about, well, can we guess at least what family language this is in? I don't recognize it at all.
The closest thing you could compare it to is like Sanskrit.
Really?
Okay, yeah,
Is
this
what
is
it looks
old.
like. It's old.
We
It's
need
really old.
It's,
maybe
Middle
after
Eastern-y.
if Sanchez can be given a moment to rest, maybe he can help if he can get his wits about him.
Here, just set it on the desk here. I'm gonna look through more of these books. Do you want me to roll for it? I'm looking for the books on.
If you're looking at the books, you see things like the collected folklore of Peru. You see the history of Puno, legends of Lake Titicaca. Just all these regional
Okay.
histories, folklore studies,
Can I-
maps.
Can I try giving Sanchez some of my smelling salts?
No, yeah.
I'll give him a whiff of the smelling salts and see if I can jolt him into.
Yeah, that seems to relax a little bit with that, but he's calming down, but he's breathing heavy and
We need Sanchez to explain to them that we didn't do this. That this is a monster.
And no kidding.
Well,
Speaking of,
See
am I
that?
finding?
Thing's got a slug for a face.
Yeah,
I'm
any of
gonna
the,
leave the room
Go ahead.
looking to see where the police are.
Okay.
all right.
So with the books, I'm gonna look for anything pertaining to folklore, that type of stuff, and then I'm gonna quickly go through each of the glossaries.
All right, so as you're going through, you're not really finding anything. It's taking you quite a bit of time, but something does catch your eye from the notebook, Rizzo's notebook.
Spanish, written by Gaspar Figuerina, William, Spaniard who traveled to Peru. Okay. According to the text, Figueroa set out to seek his own fortune following Pizarro's assassination in 1541. He was accompanied by Hernando Ruiz, Diego Garrido, Luis de Mendoza, and Pedro de Velasco, fellow conquistadors who had served with Pizarro. They traveled into the southern highlands of the Andes looking for treasure, hoping to make their fortunes before heading back to Spain and retiring in luxury. Hearing rumors of an ancient temple filled with gold, the men set off into the mountains southwest of Lake Titicaca, where they found a pyramid surrounded by a maze-like structure of underground tunnels. The walls of the tunnels were inlaid with intricate gold carvings. The men pried out a large section of the gold, exhausting themselves in the attempt. That night, as they rested, an evil sickness befell Figueroa's companions. In the morning light, they looked around. They looked gaunt and deathlike. Complaining of agonizing hunger, they pursued Figueroa. De Mendoza caught up with him and started to devour him like a human leech. Figueroa shot his friend in the head and fled, pausing only to snatch up as much of the gold as he could carry. Figueroa eventually arrived back in Lima, hoping to get passage home, but he was too weakened by his ordeal. Figueroa describes himself as wasted, little more than a walking corpse. I read final confessions as Figueroa's attempt to lift the guilt that his avarice had placed upon him. He believed that his fate and that of his companions was brought about by their desecration of a holy place, and his most fervent wish was that he could undo the damage he had inflicted. He describes how he can still hear his friends' voices crying out with inhuman hunger, and how in the dark of the night he can hear another voice, ancient and seductive, promising him an eternal life if he returns to the temple. The voice told Figueroa how to contact it, but it seems Figueroa was too afraid to ever attempt this. A postscript written by the priest who performed the last rites states that Figueroa died a day after completing his final confessions. His last words were an entry to whatever gods were listening to forgive him his blasphemies. Interesting.
I wonder if This Luis Mendoza is a relative of great grand. Well, good God, it would have to be. I wonder if there's any correlation between that Mendoza and this Mendoza. I mean, granted, it's
400 years.
400 years,
Well,
8
Interesting.
generations.
you also did a lot of damage to the guy, and he's kept coming back.
He's still moving.
He's still
If it-
moving?
If it's a cult, it might have been handed down from father to son.
Yeah.
All that time.
I would very much like to see the original text that she got this from.
Now this might be crazy, but
Do you wanna
I've been some weird things in New Orleans, and the fact of someone living for 400 years, well, it doesn't sound that crazy to me. There's ways of doing things, contacting spirits on the other side. In fact, I think
Do you want to
I'm gonna
unshare more?
make some calls. Well,
Yeah.
let me see. I've got members of my family are perhaps much older than they look.
Can understand maybe 110 or maybe 120. You're talking almost 400.
Look, let's throw the magic out. This is obviously something. It's not 400 years old. It's just another Mendoza. It's a common last name, but
Yeah.
maybe he's related. Maybe they're all related in some way. But whatever it is, it's dead. And I think we should chop it up so that you can't keep coming. Isn't that how you deal with regular vampires? You chop off the heads?
Yeah, something like that. Burn them.
Hauser, make a strength check.
What are you talking about? It's vampires. This is 35.
I'm just playing on the legend
45.
I'm playing on the legend that it's some sort of a Carisserie, a fat vampire.
All right, all of you see is Hauser kind of grunts, and then he's kind of tossed into the wall as Mendoza starts to get up.
Bloody hell. Look, mate, will you just stay down?
And he's going to try to bolt past Fox and out the door.
I'm going to try to block its path and knock it back so that they can continue to kill it.
All right, make a fighting brawl roll.
Do I take damage for that toss?
No.
I got a 42 out of 55 regular pass.
Oh, he got a 12, so he kind of, as you kind of go to block him, he kind of just
Flings
shoves
me out
you,
of the way.
yeah, and just bolts.
How rude.
Tell me about it.
I'm going to try
Dang
and
it.
bolt after him, but I'm behind the desk.
I'm going to run after him. No, you bloody don't, mate.
There's a whole fucking crowd of people right outside the door.
Thing has the strength of 2 or 3 men.
All right, so Morris, as you go out, you see that the crowd is quite thick around where the student was stabbed, and you can see Mendoza running deeper into the museum.
I'm going to start screaming, Carisserie, Carisserie.
And you see a few people kind of
Carisserie.
looking around, but nobody seems to be running after him. Nobody joins in.
Jesus,
So we have Morris and Frederick running after him.
Yes. As best
All
I
right,
can.
just have both of you just make a dex roll.
Okay. Oh no, not the dex roll.
Huh.
Oh, I've got a 9. I'm going to
I got
assume
tangled
that's
up on
a
the
pass.
desk.
Oh yes, that's an extreme.
I tried to saddle horse over it and slipped on a book.
Well, I think your 9 is quite a bit better than Mendoza's 99. So
I told
manage
you
it.
we should.
You catch him before he gets too far.
I would like to kick him Squire in the back of the knee. If
Or
you can.
make a fighting
Just sort
roll
of
check.
kick his legs out from underneath him. And I have failed by 5
What-
points.
What if the condition of Sanchez is stable and okay? I'll start chasing out to try to lend assistance.
Okay. So
More.
Sanchez does seem to be stable. And so Morris, you lash out with your foot as Mendoza kind of scrambles away from you as Frederick is now catching up. So it's you two and Mendoza. And so he's kind of...
If I am actually able to catch up, I'm going to try and clock him in the head with the 25-pound gold rod.
Woo. All right, make a fighting make a fighting brawl check, but with the penalty dice. That thing is not that great of a weapon.
Okay.
But actually, since he's been attacked once before this round, you'd get a bonus dice. So actually, just regular roll.
Oh, so regular roll.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I will discard the 42 and the 2 that I got. That is that's a normal pass.
Okay.
Barely. But yes, normal pass.
So as he kind of lurches back away from Morris, you just smash this thing right down on it, and you just hear this horrific, unearthly just screech. As you see, this thing starts to just melt through him like butter. And you just get overwhelmed with like smoke and burning flesh. And you see it just withers back and slumps to the ground.
Good.
Told you to take his trousers off.
I told you to tie him up.
Wouldn't be able to run if he pulled his trousers down.
All right, let's tie him up with his trousers. Back into the office with him.
Separate
He
the
just-
pots from one another.
He just threw Hauser off him. I don't think ropes are going to hold this guy.
Oh, this seemed to work.
Yeah.
And it's smoking.
Yeah.
So when I
His
touched
his
him
body
with
is still
okay.
just
Like
writhing
it
and
burned
heat
him when it touched him.
Yep, pretty bad, pretty severely.
Why don't we wrap up that item with him? Tie his hands behind and use the gold rod as a pole he's tied to.
I don't know. I reckon it'd be better if we tied him up and someone just stood guard over him with the rod.
Good idea.
Get ready to just bash him if he gets up again.
Spare the rod, spoil the Mendoza.
But we need to get also Sanchez with us again in spirit, so he can tell us what the hell's going on. At least what he knows.
What we need is the damn ambulance to get here.
Oh, they're not going to do much. It's just
Maybe not
they'll
for
just
him.
be stretcher bearers. They'll just load him in the back and take him to hospital.
So where's Larkin?
We should probably check that hotel. We'll do that after we finish up here.
Yeah, let's wait for the ambulance first.
Speaking of first responders, police.
Yeah, police, ambulance.
After a couple of minutes, notice two things. One, Mendoza does not get back up this time. And then the police, you hear, start shouting, getting people out of the way, making their way to the young man who was stabbed.
Have there been a lot of other people in our vicinity, or is it just us and Mendoza and Sanchez?
It was a whole crowd of
this room.
people.
Even in this room?
So it's just you guys in this office. Everybody else seems more interested in a spectacle around the student and the police now.
Okay, then before the police get in, I highly recommend we hide that gold artifact. That would be a terrible loss if the police took that into custody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, knowing what I do about the police around these
satchel to
parts,
slip us
that'll go missing.
Maybe
but
all the books that were in the satchel, maybe grab them as well.
Maurice, drop your trousers. We're gonna hide the gold thing.
Yeah, all right. Stick it up my trouser leg. I'll put on a limp.
Rod in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
All right. So
All right.
let's get our story straight. Professor was attacked by this Mendoza creep after he murdered the student, Rizzo.
No, student's still alive.
No,
Wait.
Rizzo's dead.
Rizzo's
Yeah,
dead?
He tore
Sorry.
Rizzo limb from limb.
Yeah,
That's how we
she,
got the gold piece.
yeah, and her notebook.
You missed the corner over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
well,
in a very bad.
The stabbing victim should be stable as long
Yeah.
as. As long
That
as
was
they
when he
keep
was
pressure
trying to
on
get
him.
away.
Yeah.
What if the stabbing was a distraction to get us out of the office so we could get at Sanchez?
I thought the stabbing came.
The stabbing came before Sanchez was attacked.
Yeah.
So it
Stabbing
happened.
We
So
vacated.
Rizzo was killed. And
The
then
student
he
was
ran out.
stabbed.
He stabbed. We all went there, and then Sanchez was attacked.
Yeah.
If it was a distraction, it worked.
And I think that it's all going to have something to do with this mysterious pyramid that was in that letter. That might be
Hell.
where we're supposed to go.
Larkin's a rat.
Well, if Larkin isn't incapacitated and is still wanting to go on with his expedition, I'm pretty sure we can get him at least arrested and delayed.
Well, that thing was trying to stick a slug down Sanchez's throat.
It was a competition.
But what if it was to control him? Maybe Larkin's controlled by a slugoid. We could get him x-rayed, I suppose, and find out what the hell's inside.
Yeah, well,
If they had x-rays.
if we don't get hauled off to the station, we can go do that next.
Crapola. I don't believe this. I come all this way. Thought we were just gonna have a nice, friendly expedition. Just have to fight off headhunters and stuff. These fat vampires and crazy leech people.
Yeah.
So while you're all gathered, you hear as you see an officer walks in.
Ah, thank God you're here.
What is? Ken looks at you and kind of in some very basic English. What happened?
Murder. Attempted murder.
I'll go and smooth things over.
I've got Spanish. I don't know why I said that.
El Murdero. El Mucho Murdero.
Murdero comes out of my mouth.
Well, enough of you. If you start speaking to him in Spanish,
Yeah.
I'm like,
he'll start
there
talking
was.
to you in Spanish.
I'm like, we're not precisely sure what happened, but Miss Rizzo was attacked and murdered.
Yep.
When we came to assist her, this Mendoza fella ran past us and stabbed this student. And then when we confronted, he ran in and he attacked Mr. Sanchez, Professor Sanchez. And we just barely managed to stop him from killing Sanchez. We fought with him. I think we killed him. But I think he was there was something wrong with him. He was mental.
He's writing all this
Sick or
down.
something.
And he's asked, "Where's Miss Rizzo?"
In the
Uh,
storeroom.
down in the basement.
Yeah.
He writes that down.
Well, we'll show you.
All right, so as you're leading him to the basement, he asks Christian, "Do you need medical assistance, sir?"
It'd be mighty kind of you if that could be assisted. Yeah.
Yeah, and he says that the ambulance is outside if you want to go.
All right.
Officer Herr LeBeau here and myself, we were present just as the murderer was finishing with Rizzo down here.
We heard him.
Yeah, we were coming in. The two of us came in to respond to the screams, and she was down, and Mendoza was fleeing up the stairs of the opposite of the room. After there was a fisticuff with him and Mr. LeBeau.
We should probably explain why we were here, too. We were here to see Dr. Sanchez. We just happened to be here.
All right, so at this point, just get whenever you has the lowest luck, if you could just make a luck check for me.
I have 60 luck.
It's 55.
73.
80. Surprisingly lucky.
I'm
Octavius
higher than that. I'm higher than that.
All right, so is it Morris then?
Morris.
I rolled 14.
Nice.
All right, so after you go, you show him Rizzo. He writes a bunch of stuff down. He decides not to keep you for further questioning. So,
Does the officer seem shocked
he
at
seems
seeing that type of wound, or like he's seen it before?
So he is pretty. He's not walking so straight after he sees Rizzo's shriveled up corpse.
Okay, so it
he
seems
seemed less phased by Mendoza because at this point his face was more of just a bloody mess, kind of just burnt and horrible than it was leech-like. So
Now, if I can make a suggestion, we've got all these other students out here too, and I did yell a lot of Carissa-y.
Does Mendoza still have that like a noticeable horrific mouth thing?
No.
No. Oh,
Getting struck by that gold piece seemed to do a serious number on him.
got it.
Oh, how long is that gold thing, by the way?
It's about 2 feet in length.
Okay.
25
Okay.
pounds.
How much I need to limp in order to hide it?
It's kind of thin if it's only 25 pounds and 2 feet.
Yeah, it's
Solid gold.
it's thin.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just it's just gold is heavy.
Yeah, kind of a stick.
Possibly slightly bent now as well.
Yeah, because you crowned a guy with them. All right.
Yeah,
Well, once we're
interesting.
away, you can take that out of your pants.
And Christopher, they give you. They're baffled. They ask you what happened. Do you have any Spanish?
Yeah, I got some Spanish.
Okay.
But it's it's not like the best, but it's doable. And I just sort of say, oh look, I had a tussle with one of the guys in there, and he had this thing that just started sucking, like it's like a group of like needles, and they just sort of went in, and he started sucking crap out of me. It was it was pretty bad.
And they look a little skeptical, but they kind of look you over. They kind of bandaged it up, but like there's nothing really more we can do for you.
No, I appreciate the
Just
assistance.
get some rest.
Yeah, appreciate it. So I'll head off to I guess catch back up with the guys back at the hotel.
Yeah, we need to head over to that other hotel. We know where it is. I can't remember what it was called.
Hotel España.
España. Yep. See if Larkin is there, or if he's shriveled up in a corner.
I'm gonna check it before
is,
we leave. I'm gonna check and make sure what hospital people are getting sent to, and just get the name of that.
Yeah, we need to keep close tabs on Sanchez. He's our VIP right now. I don't really feel good about leaving him alone.
Well, why don't you go with him to the hospital?
Yeah, it would be good if two, because if, as you say, there's more than one of these vampire creatures, I by myself, I need backup.
All right, I'll go with you.
All right, so you and I, Octavius, will have this Sanchez to the hospital.
All right, so you're gonna ride in the ambulance with him?
Yeah.
Okay. So they take Sanchez and the student. So Frederick, this I answered your question. They're just taking him to just the closest hospital. Nowhere really spectacular, but it's close. And they're taking Mendoza to the morgue.
Yeah, I can't stay there long.
How's
Okay.
Nyarlathotep? That'd be interesting to read.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. Let's go find our.
So the hospital. They get there and they get Sanchez to lay down. They start examining his mouth and throat, and so
Okay.
seems to be in good hands. A lot of people
Well,
around.
I don't know, Hauser, if you're of the same opinion I am. He was targeted, and he was targeted because he knew something about what was going on.
But if he was targeted, that means he is worthy to be taken out. So if they find that their one hitman failed, if there are more, would not they send another hitman? It seems like he knows a lot to counter what Larkin was suggesting.
And now we do.
After a very short order, you see a nurse walks over. And she's like, "Yes, your friend should be fine.
Discharged
Have
soon,
him here out of
señorita?
the." Yes, soon. He doesn't seem to be seriously injured or sick.
Oh, wonderful. We will wait here if that's okay. We are good friends of him, and we'll make sure he gets
Okay.
back home.
So after about 20 minutes, they let Sanchez go.
So
Well, thank
good to
God
see
you're
you.
okay.
Yeah. Right.
So, do you think that we actually met a Carisserie?
I just want to go late. I don't know.
Well, we're going to take you someplace safe first. We're going to take you back to our place. Look, we have some theories and we want to discuss them with you. We think that whatever Larkin's up to, Mendoza was part of that group. And if Mendoza was one of these fat second vampires, and they targeted you because you sort of a different opinion, I think that we should listen to what you have to say. And we should go out there ourselves, like we were planning.
I just didn't want. It's the history of my people. I didn't want them to take it all like scum, and just wanted to get there first. Make sure they didn't take it either. It's just.
Well, there's obviously something. There's something obviously more out there than meets the eye.
And also, at least speaking from my magazine, this is a most bizarre story. A fat vampire. This is almost unbelievable. This has to be reported.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, if you guys want to still head out there, I think Rizzo and I think we find where it is. Rizzo will tell you where it's where my notes are. There's the map. We have its approximate location map.
Doc, the vampire got to Rizzo first.
She did not make it.
Not to be insensitive, but he sucked her dry. She was a husk. So where are these notes? What can we get?
Were
There's
those
just my desk drawers. He fumbles and he hands you a key.
All right.
Yeah, desk might.
Do you want to go home? I'm afraid these people might know where you live.
Uh,
Do you have somebody else you can go to?
yeah, I'll go. I'll go stay with my sister. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get you to the. Where do you need to go? Do we drive you there? Or do we take you to the train station?
It's not far.
All right.
It's just not far.
You tell us everything you can, and we'll take you there. And we're going to figure out what the hell's going on here, Doc.
Yeah.
You can write a thesis on it.
Oh. Yeah, you could, very much shook up.
Yeah, I don't know if we should wait till he gets more himself to maybe invite him on if we are indeed going to try to go where the map suggests. Having him along would be incredibly useful. But if he's if he's shell shocked right now, basically, then he may not be useful.
He's an older fellow, isn't he? GM.
Professor Sanchez, he's a younger guy. He seems to be in his late 30s.
Well, we'll let him
give
have
him a
that
day.
choice. Let's take him to his sisters.
Okay. So he just explains his notes can be found on his desk and the map, travel plans.
So we'll take him to his sisters, then we'll go back to the university. We'll get his notes. Hopefully we won't have to fight with the police.
Yeah.
So you two are going to go back to the university. Is everybody else there waiting for them to return?
No,
Or is it ready to just go?
they're going to España to see if.
I went back
We're
to
gonna
Larkin.
find our friend Larkin.
Yes, I'm with them.
You three went to go work. So as you two have gone there, you three are arriving at the Hotel España.
I left after, I didn't join up with them after my medical. So I left quite a bit before.
Okay, so you went...
I went to our hotel, not Larkin's one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll meet up with us when we get back there.
All right, so Frederick and Morris. So you two arrive. It's a small two-story building. There's just an old lady behind the desk. She kind of perks up and she says, "Oh, what can I do for you, gentlemen?"
Hi, we're checking in. We're checking in on a friend of ours, Larkin.
Oh, yes. Yes, I haven't seen him today.
Okay. What's his room number?
Room number 9. And just up the stairs.
So we'll saunter up the stairs, knock on the door, listen.
Make a listen check.
That is a pass. It's a hard, just a hard.
You hear kind of rattly breathing on the other side.
Okay, I hear breathing, but it's rattly.
Should we go in?
Yeah, let's go get a key. And,
You
so I'll run.
You go and get a
hold
key.
on.
I'll stay here just in case.
Make sure it doesn't run for it. So I'll run down to the thing. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you have a key to the room? I think he's in there, but I'm hearing a rattly breathing.
So your friend is ill?
Possibly.
Can't come to the door?
Yeah. Do you want to come with us and unlock it for us, please?
Yeah. And she follows you up the stairs very slow. And as you're going, she says, "This is very funny. Your other friend, Mendoza, keeps his room very clean."
Yeah, he is kind of a clean guy.
And she goes and she Yeah. Larkin, not so much. And she pushes open the door as it unlocks, and the room is in a mess. Clothes are scattered everywhere. You see empty bottles, a couple others filled with various liquids. Just everything seems to be in disarray and kind of slumped in the bed. You see Larkin. Seems to be in state of a semi-undress. You see that his chest is exposed, and on it is a very prominent tattoo. You see this great spiraling shape that kind of starts in the center and radiates out up into the figure of what appears to be a misshapen man with rather large claws.
I'm gonna run over and check his pulse.
And yeah, as you get closer and you feel his pulse, it is beating. He seems semi-lucid, but now you get closer, you see his veins are kind of bulging, and they're mostly blackish purple.
Is there any water in the room?
As you're going checking the various bottles that you don't.
Well, I'm just wondering, is there a bathroom in the room?
No.
Okay. Is there any water then?
In the room?
Yeah, in the bottles. I'll check the bottles and see if any of them contain water or even cold coffee or something.
And as you're checking the bottles, they don't seem to be full of water. You do notice, do you have any Spanish?
Sí.
Okay, yeah, so you...
Un poquito.
Yeah, so you see that now that you're looking at the bottles, you notice that next to them you see a couple of syringes, and you see a faded label on one of them that seems to be written in kind of in pencil in Spanish, very faintly, heroin.
Oh, I see. So he's a bit of a dope fiend, this fella.
Is he?
I'm going to get my smelling salts out again.
Yeah, we need
Gotta pack
a
those.
real doctor.
All right, so you're going to hit him with the smelling salts?
Yep.
These veins don't look
I'm a
good.
whiff.
You see, he perks awake. And he seems a little confused at first. Morris, is it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, yes. What can I do for you?
We need to have a little chat with you.
Oh?
Yeah. It's about your mate, Senor Mendoza.
Oh, what about the good Mr. Mendoza?
Well, he seems to have an affinity with fat.
With fat, what are you talking about?
Oh, we've had a bit of a run-in with him.
Oh, well, he's not that social. I'm a little surprised.
No, I wouldn't
he's
say that he
decidedly
was
antisocial.
Yeah. He's attacked a friend of ours.
Oh. Really?
Yes. Really.
Why? He's rather quiet. It's not like him.
How long have you known this Mendoza geezer?
Oh, I've known him for about a year. That's when I first came to Peru. Why? Is he? Where is he now? Have a chat if he's the morgue.
Yeah, I would imagine he's probably there
He
by
had
now.
a severe allergic reaction on his head.
I,
to a gold rod
I,
that looked like it was ripped from the wall of a temple of some sort.
oh, which I think is still down my trouser leg.
Actually, hey, let's make sure that our friend here doesn't have the same allergy.
Yeah, I'm going to get the gold rod out.
Touch his arm.
Not to scale. And I'll go, yeah, it was this, look. And I'm just going to sort of, brush it against his hand.
You brush it, and his, well, it's not as severe of a reaction as Mendoza. You see his skin kind of prickles, and he kind of moves away from you. And you see he goes from dazed and confused, and all of a sudden this calm settles over his face. And you see that his eyes kind of fill with this, kind of looks like ink kind of behind the whites until they go totally black.
All right, bean him.
And make a sand check.
Oh, here we go. 7.
Smack his face in. What's a fail do?
Well, I've passed. There you go.
Yeah.
1d2.
Okay.
Anything on a pass?
A pass is nothing.
Okay, brilliant.
Smack him, smack him, smack him, smack him, smack him.
And he says, I recommend you put that down and give me some respect.
And why would I do that then? Says the character who's just about to die.
I'll give you a pretty good reason. And he waves his hand over at Frederick. Frederick, can you make a power roll, please?
Okay. That is a... It's really close to not, but it's a hard. Been on fire. Yeah, but that's a hard success.
So you see this kind of crackle of green energy splay out from his hand, and it strikes Frederick in the chest. Frederick, you're going to take 5 points of damage as your skin just radiates out with this burning energy as all that flesh goes necrotic.
Ow.
So
I'm going to strike him about the head with the rod. No, you don't, Foul.
all right, make a fighting brawl check.
Because if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out fighting. Oh, 7 out of 50. That would be that's an extreme. Get in.
All right, so your rod, it cracks down. So if you want to give me a damage roll, 1d6 plus your damage bonus.
Okay, 1d6 plus a 1d4. And that is 4 and 3 is 7 points of damage.
All right, so you crack down on him, and he says, "Ah, so that's how you want to do this, huh?"
Well, you haven't given me much choice, have you? You just attacked my friend here.
All right, can you make a power roll?
I have rolled 20, or it might be 200. No, it's 20.
200 would be bad.
Which is, let's have a look. That's a hard success.
All right, so you see that he says that he kind of just stares into your eyes, and he says that to set the gold rod down, and your hand starts to follow what he's telling you to do, but you stop it.
Okay.
I'm going to try and shank him
Try and use it.
as soon as I can recover.
All right, so you start picking yourself off the ground and moving towards him. Morris, what are you going to do?
I'm going to sort of move round slightly to sort of cover Frederick as he's getting up, with the rod poised, ready to strike him again if I have to.
You see, he kind of yawns. Please. Are you going to continue this?
What's this all about, Larkin?
Oh, more things than you know. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to carry on with my expedition, please. You two are free to go.
Hang on, what's going on with this Mendoza bloke? He's attacked someone, he's killed a woman.
Well, seeing that you are no longer a necessary asset to the expedition, I don't think it concerns you much.
What, you're saying I'm sacked?
In a way. Make a power roll, please.
I'm gonna stab him in the back.
Oh, 13 this time, which is hard again.
All right, so you're going to take 9 points of damage.
That is a
as you are
pass
struck
on the-
with a bolt of that same energy, that same green.
Crikey.
Yeah. So I passed on stabbing him. Fighting brawl, right?
Yep.
Okay. That would be
So that is going to be a major wound.
5 points. 5 points on the knife.
All right, so you kind of just, you plunge it into his neck. And you see that as Morris is kind of shriveling up on the ground, he kind of looks at you, spits up a little blood into your face, and says, "We'll meet again." And then the black kind of clears from his eyes. Oh. Thank you. And Larkin dies.
Chapman,
Morris, you all right?
I think I need to go to the
Obviously not.
hospital.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what he hit me with. All right, here. Let me help you out of here.
I'll try and look. I'll use this rod thing just to brace myself. You look while I'm getting to the door. Have a quick.
That's gold. It's a soft metal.
Yeah, have a quick look about and see if there's anything worth taking before we leave. Anything that might help us. I'd help out myself. I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah, here. Just stay by the door.
Oh.
Is the old lady from the desk still just kind of chilling in the hallway?
I'll have some medicine. Hang on.
She probably ran off.
She's long gone.
That's good. Good for her. All right. So I'm gonna quick search the area.
Okay, so as you're kind of moving through the pile of trash and disordered clothing and empty heroin bottles, slightly full heroin bottles, a couple of syringes. As you're kind of looking down, you see that there is something you can kind of see that's tucked under the mattress that's kind of shiny.
What is it? I'll lift the mattress up and look.
As you lift the mattress up, you see that it's this large, flat gold disc. You see this kind of carved to look like some kind of parody of a human face is your best approximation. And it seems to kind of be shaped to where you could put it on as a mask.
Well, I'll grab a cloth, wrap it up in a cloth.
Stick it in a pillowcase.
Yeah, pillowcase, and then. All right, this. Unless you want some heroin, I think it's time to go.
No, I've eaten. Thank
All right.
you. Yeah, this. Yeah, hospital.
Yeah. As we limp out the front, is the lady behind the desk?
Nope, she's nowhere to be seen.
Okay. Darn. No quippy remark about witchcraft or something.
I think, yeah, I just want to hail a taxi and just say, hospital, por favor.
All right, and they
Collapse
very
into the
quickly
back.
take you to a hospital.
Oh.
On the way in the hospital, while Morris is getting seen to, I'm gonna find a phone and call up the other hotel that we were at and see if anyone's there.
As you
Line could be busy.
yeah, as you try to call the line, it doesn't go through.
Darn. Try again later. All right, hospital stuff.
All right, so Octavius and Hauser, you get back to your hotel, and you see Christopher with the phone just tapping his foot.
There's Christopher, all patched up, I see. We're right over here. You don't need to call us. Who are you calling?
Someone from back home. I got some questions.
Oh, geez, that's going to take an hour and a half to get that phone line through.
Well, I've already been here for about an hour and 20, so.
Well, they made you wait on the phone?
I prefer to. I didn't want to miss it.
Well, usually the operator will call you back. We got some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We went to got whatever it was out of.
Yeah, you swung back and got the stuff out of his desk.
All right.
Excellent. And it's written in Spanish or a language we can easily read?
Yep, it's in Spanish.
Okay, fantastic.
Well, when your phone call comes through, come and join us back up in the room.
Okay.
This has been crazy.
Yep.
Oh, come on, Hauser. Let's get some alcohol.
Oh, Keeper, did we get the phone number to Sanchez's sister so we can kind of check in on him?
Yeah, why not?
All right, good. Just so we can wait a day and check in. I think it would be really good if we'd at least offer him to come with us.
All right.
All right, let's take a look at these notes here.
Let's take a look through these here.
Yeah.
See what we can find out about fat vampires and lost civilizations.
We don't find that a lot of his notes cover the vampires. They mostly just seem to trying to correlate where the pyramid might be. And you see there's kind of this area circled on the map, kind of to the southwest of Puno.
Okay. Southwest of Puno. I think that we should figure out a way to arm ourselves. I don't know what this is all about.
Or, sorry, southeast of Puno.
Oh.
Sorry, what? Yeah, I think some of us are armed, but we
let's
should
go by the library later on and see what we can find on folklore. Maybe there's some folklore as to what to do against the Carisari.
Yeah, I would like to, before we head out again, maybe at least have the rest of the group consolidate again. I don't. This seems a little bit dangerous. I don't like the idea of being out.
I don't mean that we're
too
going to go
long.
right now. No.
Oh, good.
No,
Good.
it's not like we're just going to hop in our car and go out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, if these things have an affinity for fat, then maybe we should hit them with a bar of soap or something.
Now, what makes you think that there are many of them, though? I mean,
I don't know, but where there's one animal, there's usually a species.
yeah.
And I'm willing to think that maybe these things aren't human, but they're not. They're still an animal.
I wonder if Larkin knows. I'll be really interested to see if Frederick and Morris, if they caught up with him, got any information.
The more you think about it, the less crazy it sounds. I mean, there's a lot of strange animals in the world, animals that mimic other animals, and animals that feed off of others, like parasite. So this is just some of the parasite.
Agreed. And if it's a rare animal, chances are there will be bizarre stories, mystical, occult-based stories off of them, legends, and it will make them sound more fantastical than they are.
Right, and it might actually be that leech thing is the creature.
Yeah, that could be.
And that the human is the host. There's a lot of possible answers at this point.
So back downstairs, Christopher, you see Jackson Elias kind of burst into the room. It's like, oh, thank goodness you're here. You're Morris. I was at the hospital. I was looking for Sanchez. By the time Morris there, he's horribly hurt.
What happened?
I don't know. And he runs up the stairs.
I'm gonna yell after him. I'm gonna be like, Fox and Grunwald are upstairs. Get them.
And then Fox and House, are you? See Jackson kind of comes barreling into your room.
Jackson, what's up?
Hi.
Yes.
I stopped by the hospital to check on Sanchez, and I found Morris there. He's not looking so good.
Was Frederick with him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they went to check and see if Larkin. Holy shit! What if Larkin's one of these things too? We better get down there.
Sanchez is a lot better, but he's recouping at his sister's now.
Oh.
But let's go see Morris and Frederick. Dear God.
All right. And as we go down the stairs, I sort of put my mouth up against House's ear, and I say, "You should have told him that he was at his sister's." We don't know this guy.
Yeah. We'll stay with him.
I mean, I like Elias, but Elias.
We'll keep close to him.
All right. LeBeau, did your phone call come through yet?
Nah, man, I'm still waiting on it.
We're going down to the hospital again.
Okay, I'll see you there.
We're going to be on a first-name basis with all of the nurses. All right, so we leave.
And Elias with us?
Yeah.
He goes, he has a cab out front.
Oh, good. All right, so we go with Elias to the hospital. Bitte. Rápido, por favor. Juntos podemos hacerlo.
Show off. All right.
So as you guys are on your way to the hospital, the operator calls Christopher back.
Hello?
Hi, I am sorry to inform you, we seem to have trouble reaching the other side of the line. Would you like us to keep trying?
look, can you keep trying and give them a message for me? Tell them to call me as soon as they can, and tell them it's about a Carisserie.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And I'll hang up. Go upstairs, change my shirt, and stuff, and then I'll head off to the hospital, catch up with the other guys.
All right, so Octavius, Hauser, and Jackson arrive at the hospital.
Hi, Morris. Okay, you're looking like you were attacked by you know what.
Not a you know what.
So
Larkin.
so Larkin was one too, huh?
No, something different.
Me siento como una mierda hervida.
Yeah, you feel like shit. You look like shit. But what? You see something different.
Here, out of earshot of anyone. So, Larkin's hotel room looked like an opium den. We walked in. Yeah, well, heroin. At least that's what
Heroin.
Morris
They
said
give that
was
to
in the
babies.
bottles. A lot of it. Bottles of the stuff. Syringes. The dude was a junkie.
But
Yeah.
but
But
how
what-
does that account for these wounds you have? This is what
So,
happened.
He was on the bed. I went over, checked his pulse. He was alive. Somewhat unresponsive. Morris gave him some smelling salts. He woke up. He seemed a bit out of it until Morris. Well, we told him that Mendoza ended up in the morgue and they attacked someone, and he seemed not to know what was going on. At this point, both Morris and I were thinking that he was lying. So Morris pulled out the rod to try and jog his memory. He touched him with it lightly on the arm, and he got up. His eyes. It looked like his eyes turned black. Like just black. No pupil, no iris, no. Just black. And well, when we got a little bit more rambunctious, I don't know if he couldn't have been. He must have got me with I don't know, some kind of acid or something, because you can see here.
Oh, you're burned. But did he become?
It's not a burn. It's a no. He didn't turn into a leech thing off in Porto.
Oh.
With his eyes, he seemed a lot more confident too. But he splashed me with something. Hell, if I didn't know better, I'd say it was magic. And then he hit something. He's hit Morris with something. Maybe the same kind of thing, but clever with his sleight of hand. But Morris smacked him in the head with the rod. He got him. He gave him a good one. And then he got Morris back with whatever the hell, and that's why Morris is on the bed there.
Morris looks bad there.
And then did he get away? What happened?
Well, I stabbed him in the neck.
Oh yeah. And what did he bleed? Fat?
No, just blood.
He said thank you.
He said, well, before his eyes cleared, he said he'd see us again, which is weird.
His eyes cleared.
And then his eyes cleared, and then he said thank you.
Now
I think he might have sacked me before he died.
Yeah, I think we're both fired.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. I'll hire you. I'll pay your wages. Look,
Oh.
now what you're talking about seems
hold
more
on.
like...
Hold on.
Yeah,
Morris,
Frederick,
Morris,
show him.
lift your pillow.
Show
Thank
him
you.
the thing. Show him the thing.
Look in the case here.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll look at that later. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, if he had showed us this the first night, we would have taken him a little bit more seriously.
Look, I've done some minor occult studies, and the encounter that you're talking about, forever as bizarre as it seems more like demonic possession than it seems like. You say he was one personality, then he became this other personality, then it went away.
His
And he
eyes
actually
went completely black.
Yeah.
And he had a tattoo on his chest.
Oh yeah, it was a
tattoo
thing.
Spiral and a man thing.
Could you call it a man
thing?
Well, sort of a man.
I
don't know. It was a bit. I mean, it was dark in that room. I couldn't clearly see it, but
like he's some sort of a cult.
Child's drawing, but maybe.
It didn't look. I mean, I was at sea a long time, and it didn't look like any tattoo I've seen.
If Mr. Elias wants to find a death cult, I think he found him.
Dear God.
I think it's more than a death cult, some sort of demonic possession cult. It's ancient evil spirit cult or something.
Yeah,
and he said he'd see you again, which means that he left Larkin's body. That's really fucking disturbing. If we do see him again, then there's something worse going on here than a fat leech.
Did the doctors say these wounds you guys have look familiar, or are they baffled?
The doctors have all been completely baffled. It seems like that the tissue kind of just atrophied and died.
It's like no acid I've seen.
What sort of effect is that going to have then on my recuperation?
Your recuperation is going to be very slow.
Look, LeBeau is back at the hospital. Oh, wait, there's LeBeau now. He's come in. I thought he was making a phone call.
Well, look, you all get on with your adventure, and I'll just spend the next few weeks in hospital.
Well, that doesn't sound
I'll
too bad.
keep you company. We can talk
Well,
about
Larkin's dead. Now it's our expedition.
Or Sanchez. He wants to go on this. Well,
Larkin's dead?
Larkin's something else. Yeah.
Jeez.
There was something inside Larkin. Maybe it was one of those leeches.
The man formerly known as Larkin is no more.
Well, let's get you checked out so that we can take you back.
He seemed glad to be dead, glad to be rid of it, whatever it was.
What we need to do is we need to find some way to protect ourselves. So far, that golden artifact there. What if we can reproduce it?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, the rod had an effect on. As you can see, though, it's getting a bit bent now. It could do with straightening out a bit.
Well, we need to copy the lettering.
It's gold.
are you suggesting that the lettering, the carvings on this have some sort of meaning beyond telling a story?
It might be some sort of a mystical ward. I mean, in both cases, it had a detrimental effect to the evil creature or the evil spirit thing. I don't know if they're connected or not.
I'm not sure. I think I'm not sure whether it had an effect on it, or whether it just woke it up.
Wonder if
Maybe.
they've got any books here on Sanskrit.
Oh.
You think it's Sanskrit? Oh my God.
What did Sanchez have to say for himself?
He's we put him someplace safe, but he gave us his papers, his notes.
We should review them thoroughly
Help.
together.
Yeah.
We need to go. We need to make a headquarters.
I don't. If there's more of these, at first I thought it was just the creature that attacked Sanchez, but now it could be Larkin. So it could be a lot more. This is getting dangerous. We need to.
You see Jackson kind of. I'm sorry to disturb you, gentlemen, but I think you might want to come see something. The hospital staff was given the implement that was used to stab that poor student. They're about to turn it over to the police for evidence, but no, I think it's worth taking a look at.
All right.
No.
Let's. Are we actually heading back to the hospital again?
You're at the hospital.
Yeah, we're at the hospital.
Oh, I thought we were back at the hotel.
We're checking in on.
Oh, that's right. All right. Show us Elias. I keep calling you Elias. Sorry, I got a lot of friends.
Makes no difference to me.
Jackson. I'll call you Jackson.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. All my friends call me Jackson, so that's perfect.
All right, Jackson.
Am I in a condition where I can leave my bed?
Yes.
Okay.
Just rub some butter on it.
I use my good shoulder to.
It's just it's a lot of intense pain in your torso, but your legs are just fine.
Have I recovered any hit points at all yet? Or it hasn't been overnight yet, has it? So
It's been like a couple hours at most.
Go on. So where's this thing?
Yeah, no hit point recovery yet.
Okay.
You see, and he's like, nurse. Please. And you see the nurse kind of comes around, and she has a sword.
What kind of sword? Can we identify the
primitive in their surgical practices here, aren't they?
And so this is what was used. The police found this in the hallway. It's easier to treat a stab wound if you know the shape of what stabbed them, but
that's odd.
It looks like an old Spanish sword.
You want an anthropology roll?
Yeah.
Archaeology. Yeah, you can anthropology. Yeah.
Woo!
Goodness.
That is an extreme anthropology roll.
Oh well.
I know.
This looks like the
I know the name.
This looks one of the
Smith's
swords
mother.
that the conquistadors would have taken with them to South America.
Oh yeah, that's it's old Spanish. Conquistador.
Conquistador.
Yeah.
Well, there's your tie-in with that thing that you read.
Yes, it is.
Mendoza.
Weird. Very weird.
Curiouser and curiouser, as Alice would say.
Yeah, we need to stick together on this. This is a bit more than we bargained for initially.
Mm-hmm. And I'd much prefer white rabbits over whatever the hell we've been getting.
Oh, the white rabbit freaks the hell out of me.
Would you rather have leeches or white rabbits? I'd take rabbits. They're more edible.
Well, we need to get you, Frederick, and Morris some good rest. You need to heal up a little bit.
We are going to be heading, if we're still going to do this thing, to a place southeast of Puno. That's where he suspected this pyramid to be.
Interesting.
Ay. I will. I was backing the other guy. I'll just back this expedition. We'll do it our own way. We'll split whatever we find 6 ways or 5 ways. Fair is fair.
Sure, if we don't find a better way of doing it.
Yeah. But we can't be rushing though. With both Frederick and Morris heavily wounded.
Well, it'll give us some time to do some research.
Yeah.
I would like very much to know traditionally what stops a Carisseri. I mean, if it was a vampire, wooden stake, some wolfbane, some silver, whatever. Carisseries that probably have their own sort of, throw rose thorns at it, or
Salt water. If it's
there's got to be a lot of folklore about this Carisseri.
And Sanchez was studying this. We need to maybe give him a day of rest and then pull him back into this. We have to pick his brain more.
Well, you seem hot set on that. I think that we'll let that be his choice, but he certainly wanted to give us his information and then go hide at his sister's.
Good point. Okay.
I think he was having the thing jammed its leech down his throat. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's not easy to recover from. Imagine he's going to have nightmares for the rest of his life. I would.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our best to get some rest tonight, and then we'll check at the library tomorrow.
Good.
And I'll see if I can put together what other supplies we were going to take with us. I can probably rent us a couple of trucks. I don't think we need a couple of trucks.
I wonder if the Larkin's trucks will be here Monday. We could just take those trucks when they arrive. They're going to arrive at his hotel. They're right not far away.
They arrive and we tell them that Larkin's paying for everything, and then we just go and leave Larkin the bill. I like that idea. Let him try to get paid.
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Gonna say, you guys just gonna wait until Monday for the trucks to come
and get supplies, equipment,
and the library. For right now, they need some rest. We're all exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to call it a night.
I don't really feel like doing anything at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I could rest off.
Do you guys think that we should double up on rooms and for security reasons?
Me and Hauser shared a room last night anyway.
Yeah. We need to do this. Yeah. We are in unholy grounds here.
Either we move hotels.
Well, we could do that. See if we can keep away from Count Succula.
But which one would that be? Larkin is...
I guess that one's Rodriguez.
Has anyone gone to the morgue to check to see if Mendoza's still there?
No.
That's a good idea. For tomorrow, not tonight.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed all night.
All right, well, I think as you guys are preparing to head out to the pyramid, I think this is a good place to call it for the night.
Oh, okay. That's a good spot. Our players included Zane Fleming, Brian Daly, McSwan, Stuart Lively, and myself, with Morgan Llewellyn as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our account. Our Patreon account, just $1 or $2 a month, helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.